Hi everybody, Jo here. How are you doing? How are you keeping? I hope you're keeping well. Thank you for popping in and joining me today. I hope you're doing well with all your Christmas cards. I must admit, we're getting quite near, aren't we now? Well, all mine are happily made and finished. Most of them are written. So today I'm going to make some tags with you. Now, I've got to be honest, I love tags, as you know anyway, but these are to go on gifts. They're not just sort of random tags. I actually love to make my own little tags to go on gifts. And so now that all the cards are done, most of the presents are wrapped up, I just need, and I find I love to use just plain wrapping paper, and I just love to make my own little tags. And I just think it gives such a personal touch to your presents. And you can make these elaborate or as simple as you want. And again, you can make them any size. And it's a great way of using your offcuts. So if you're anything like me, I have a box of offcuts of card, which again, being a crafter, I just can't throw them away. So these are perfect. Now you can either cut your tags just by using your offcut, cutting across the top and punching a hole, or you can use a die. There are so many dies out there for tags, different shapes. Again, use what you've got. And I just get my stamps out, and I must admit I have a lovely session. So I thought you could pop in and join me today creating some tags. And again, I never know what I'm going to make when I start. I've got to be honest, I'm that sort of crafter. I don't know about you. So what I've done is I've got a variety of stamps out. Some of my favourite ones. This one is the holly. It's not the pound holly, it's slightly larger. And I love this. I use this a lot. And I've got this lovely fairy Merry Christmas stamp. And it says, have a fairy Merry Christmas. And it's so delicate, it's perfect for this size. And you can actually just stamp it. I've got one, there we go, that just, so it just says Merry Christmas. So again, remember, you can use just part of the stamp. I've got my Christmas charms, I may use those. I've got my mistletoe, I've got my comb branch, I've got my pound holly. So literally I get sort of a few, not too many, because I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I get a few of my favourite stamps out. I get some inks, and I've die cut myself some tags. As I say, you can just use offcuts. I've used a Sizzix, a Tim Holtz die for this, but there are so many different dies. As I say, you can even just cut your own, not a problem. And what I tend to do is I tend to have a theme. And so I'm going for the elements, the Bermuda. I love this colour. It was new to me this year, and I've got to be honest, it's one of those that I just find it such a lovely green. And again, if I can just show you the difference, when you pop the colour on, depending on the intensity, look at the difference there. So this is the same colour, and again I've put it on with my stencil brush, so obviously this is a lighter touch and this is just a bit deeper. And again, I love the difference. Now, if you're one of those that say you're a bit fed up, or you feel like you've got a lot to do before Christmas, maybe you've not been well, maybe you've had your booster, I must admit, oh mine, it knocked me back again. But anyway, I had the Moderna one, and wow, it packed a punch. But, you know, if you're feeling a bit off colour, these are perfect to make. And I just find it gets me sort of creativity juices going. I aim to make a couple, and I just sit in my craft room and create so many. I just love it. So what I tend to do is get my Elements ink pad. Now, it is juicy. Now, I just need a piece of kitchen towel, which I haven't got ready. That's my bad. I thought I was prepared, but not quite. Just so I can hold it. And as always, I'm going to dab some ink on my mat. And then I'm just going to come in, and again, I'll start on the corners because I want those deeper. And I'm just going to blend some ink. And I always start on the corners, as I say, because I know my ink's going to be deeper. And then we'll just whiz some ink up here. And again, you don't have to be too precious about this. And if you're just starting off, you know, it's a great way of practicing. Now, what I will say, I tend to actually pop a bit of ink around the back as well, because I've got to be honest, chances are I am going to get some ink on the back, just because that's what happens. And I think at least if I put some ink around the back, it will make it look as though it's supposed to be there. I do that with the back of my cards as well now, because how many times do you do a card and you see you've either flicked some ink or got some ink on the back? There we go now. Just want it a bit deeper up there. And again, like I say, you can just have fun. And it's just... And we're going to do a couple. We'll do another large one. And for me, I'm just going to add ink to a few of my tags to start off with. Now that one I came in look a bit too deep, but that doesn't matter, because we'll make this one a deeper colour all the way around. It's because I was talking, you see, not concentrating. But we'll come in and make this one a nice rich colour. And the brushes are perfect for this. I hope you've got some on your Christmas list. Must admit, I've just treated myself every time I put an order in. I mean, I think I've got enough, but I just order an extra one. I think I'll add a cheeky brush to my order. I'm just going to do the front of these. And we'll do a couple of the smaller ones as well. And you could alter the colour if you wanted, you know. I'm just sort of doing I'm happy with the design I've got. And I've got to be honest, this, when I've done these, should be all the ones I need. And I just think it's so pretty to put a nice tag on a design. I mean, some of them I've actually done to match my cards. So when I've made a card design, then I'll just make a tag to match. And I must admit, I have gone that nth degree of making some gift bags as well. But again, I think when you enjoy it... Right, we've just got one more. And we'll just whiz round. Again, let's go on the base. Doesn't take long at all. Lovely. Right. And then I'm just going to wipe this with a damp cloth, just because it saves me getting my hands in it and my arm. And it's quite chilly today, so I've got a woolly jumper on, and I don't want to get my jumper in it. You know what it's like, because it ends up everywhere. Now let's bring in a bit of stamping. So I'm just going to get some copy paper, she says, and find a clean piece and put it at the top so it looks a bit more professional. And then this is where the fun starts. So we'll do one of the larger ones first. And let's come in with our larger holly. And I think we need a bit of Shady Lady. Can't go wrong with her, can you? And I think we'll just come in. I like it sort of from the side. And the beauty with this stamp, look at that. You know, if you haven't got this stamp, honestly, I'm sure you've seen you can build a wreath from it. You can use it as a garland. But the beauty of this, look, is if you put that, you can almost tessellate it. So it looks like you've got one long piece. And we're just going to come in. Should we do a little bit of second? Oh, that looks nice, just popping through. And you can practice, you know, all your techniques. You can really enjoy this. Have a bit of fun. You know, don't be stressed over Mr. Crimbo. Right, we'll just have one more there. Yeah, now I like that shape, so I'm happy with that. Just give that a bit of a wipe. I do like to just give them a bit of a wipe, only because I'll get the ink on my fingers and then it ends up everywhere. But that's just me. You do whatever suits you. And we'll come in with our Have a Fairy Merry Christmas. As I say, this is so delicate. Now in the background, I just want to put some in the background, so I'm going to use my elements. Now one thing, these are very juicy, and also it's a very spongy ink pad. So what I found is I just gently ink up the wording. Now I just want to see if I can get Merry Christmas along the bottom. It's nice. And then a second generation there. And just ink it up again. And let's go for first generation there, and then a bit of second generation. So if you're one of our new crafters, all second generation means is, look, you stamp it out once and that's the full ink, stamp it out second time, second generation, it's paler. Now this, obviously this is a dye-based ink, it's not a permanent ink, this will move with water, but the reason I've not got an absolute definite perfect crisp image is because it's a dye-based ink, but that's what I want. I just want this in the background. If you wanted your sentiment to show perfectly, you would use a permanent ink pad, your VersaFine. So we'll just put the word Christmas there, and then I think we'll just have, yeah, that's showing through. That's nice. I don't want to overcook it. I don't want too much. I think, you know, I don't want to take that away from the lovely design. So again, just with my wet cloth, give that a wipe. And literally, I just make these up as I'm going along. So I think for the berries, I've got this nice red, the Signo. And I'm just going to note, this may be where I put my head over. There are various ways you could colour the berries. Obviously, if you've got your Posca pen, I just like the gel pen because it's got a bit of sparkle on it. The glaze, I've got the glaze, the deeper red as well. But this one was just a bit of a brighter colour. And I thought with having the darker background, it might just stand up a bit better, look a bit. But again, you can paint it in. You could use your, oh, it's alive. You could use your Stickles glitter glue. So many things. You could put gems on. Totally up to you. Now let's grab a bit of, now I must admit for the ribbon, I tend to use garden string just for me because I have garden twine in for my garden, but I just like that look. But if you've got a fancy ribbon you want to use, that's the time to add your fancy ribbon. So we'll leave that one there. I may add some embellishments, but you know what? I'm happy the way that's stamped up. So we'll put that one in my pile for the minute. And let's have a look at this one. What should we put on this one? Shall we go the fir cone? I like the fir cone. Mind you, I like them all. And to be honest, this is what I do when I'm here on my own. I do just sit here and talk to myself like this. Now this one I'm using pine cone. Well, stamping a fir cone, so obviously you do have to use pine cone ink, don't you? Just cut the edge there, so we'll take that off. Maybe we'll have this one coming this way. Now there's the pound fir cone stamp as well. You could use that, incorporate that. Bit of second generation. Now should we have this one down this side? Just mix it up a bit. Oh, it needs a bit of second generation there, doesn't it? Yeah. And again, how quick is that? Again, just wipe my stamp. Now I'm thinking the little wine, I'm going to add some little berries to this, I think. I'm going to come in with Chianti. And this little berry stamp is off the Berry Wreath and Mini Berry set. And I must admit, it's my favourite little berry stamp. I know you shouldn't have favourites, but I don't know about you, I do. And this one, I'm just going to add some little berries. Not too many, just a few. Just to almost Christmas it up a little bit. Shall we add, what do you think, another one there? Yes, I think we need one just there, don't we? Well, then that's an even number, so I'm going to have another one, aren't I? So if we add that one there, it needs one up here, doesn't it? Do you do this? Do you talk to yourself? I do. I'm like, right, and you need one there, you need one there. Right, like that. It's just such fun. Do you know, and I bet you've got so many stamps you can create these card designs with. Now this one, I'm not going to put any stamping here. I'm just going to flick a little bit of water. Right, where's my fan brush? In fact, you know what I'll do? Let's just put my fan brush and just add a little bit here, just to faux bleach this area. I'm going to add some snow later, but I think a little bit of faux bleaching will just add to that. So I'm going to leave that to faux bleach. Now again, you could colour the fir cones in, but I think that looks like it's got snow on them, so I'm happy with that. I'll just clean that up. And we've got a couple of smaller tags, so what should we put on these? Got to be the mini holly, hasn't it? Oh, look at that. Obviously didn't stick that down well, did I? Right, behave. Thank you. So, let's see. And I do love the detail, you know, these pound stamps are absolutely fabulous, and the detail that you get with them, and so versatile. I mean, again, pound holly, you can make a wreath with it, you can make a garland with it, you can come and do down the side, you know, a card design. I think we'll go around the edge with this one. Yeah, we'll go all the way around the edge. And shall we add some berries? What do you think? Yeah. Let's add a few of our Chianti berries. What we could pop those coming in, look. Don't want it to look too uniform. Needs one down in this corner, doesn't it? Just there. Yeah, that's pretty. Some string. Now just turn that over, give it a bit of a blot. Now again, you can colour the berries in with your gel pen if you want. I'm not going to colour the berries in on this little one because I like the my berries in the Chianti on that. I will just flick a little bit of water in the middle. Again, I've stamped in permanent ink, so the water will only affect the ink underneath. Let's pop that one to dry. Now, we've got one more. There we go. Right, well, oh, let's do the mistletoe. Oh, or shall I do the hanging charms? Oh, a charm would look nice on this, wouldn't it? Christmas charm. Right, what colour should we do that in? Fancy green. And then maybe a bit of mistletoe around it. Let's see. Now, again, remember, your acetate, your printed acetate that comes with your stamps is perfect for looking. So I'm thinking do you know what? I'm going to leave that a minute. Let's get another block. Do you do this? Even on a little tag, look, I can change my mind. Let's stamp the mistletoe. Across there. And then let's see if that will just hang down there. Yeah. I see, I like that. Again, how plain and simple is that? But you know what? What I'm going to do again, sorry for tapping, but the reason I tap my fan brush is I want to get the excess water off so I don't get huge big splodges. So if I just bring in that and let that faux bleach a minute. So that's what the tapping is. And I know sometimes we have had questions from new crafters asking, how do you get away, you know, how do you stop getting those big blobs of water when you flick water? And that's the answer. Sort of just try and get in the routine of tapping your fan brush before you put your splats on. Lovely word that, isn't it? Splats. Got to rock a water splat, haven't you? So let's do some. Are you all right with me? Do you want another brew? You'll be ready for another snack, won't you? So we'll just do some finishing off details to these. So let's have a look what we got. Oh, we didn't put any string on that. And the good thing is, you know, as soon as I finished here, I can write these and go and add them to my parcels. I love to see them when they're all wrapped up with these on. Now, we need some Posca on here, don't we? Just some highlights and a little bit of snow. So on the berries, we just need those highlights. Just makes all the difference, and maybe a bit of snow there. Now I am going to stamp on here, and I'm going to stamp, where's my, and I'm going to pop Merry Christmas on here, but I'm going to use my VersaFine Clare. In fact, I'm going to use the Chianti, and I'm just going to ink up the Merry Christmas. And if I just, do you know what, I need my copy of paper, because I want it over this side. And I just want that there. Now I could have just wiped the ink off the extra, but I just find it easier to use copy of paper. But you could have just wiped it off. But like I say, I just find it easier to have my paper just to mask it as a quick masking. So there we go, Merry Christmas, and that all coordinates. That one's drying lovely. Now this one, let's add some sparkle pen to the star. And just down here, look. And I'm just going to catch the leaves there with a bit of sparkle. And then what I'm going to do is come in with liquid pearls. And let's just check it's running. It is. But be mindful to wipe that up, otherwise that'll be another thing going on my jumper, won't it? And let's just add some liquid pearls for these berries. Now again, you could add your gems, could use your Posca pen. I just think the liquid pearls is lovely for this, and it gives a bit of dimension on your tag. Right, so we'll pop that one over there. This one's drying lovely. Just add the dots to my berries. And my other one here. Just want some white highlights with my Posca. Just on these lovely holly berries. Now, you could leave them all like this. I want to add a little bit more Christmassy. So I've got, what we'll do, we'll leave that one flat and that one. And these two, let's add some, got some fir cones here. And these I just pick when I go walking with Eric. We have some alder trees and they have these lovely fir cones. And I've got some little berries here. So we'll just add a bit of snow to the fir cones and the branch. Now let's see. Yeah, that's too big for that one. So we'll have those little ones for that one. And I'm just going to come in with some 3D glue gel. And I'm just going to, now again it might be you want to write your tag first before adding the embellishments. It might be you want your tags flat. Not everybody. I mean, to me, I've got to be honest, you know me, this is my favourite bit. I just love playing, adding the embellishments. Well, I love all of it. Stamping, then adding the embellishments. Right, put that there. And then let's put these just in the middle here. And I'm thinking if we have a berry, a fir cone, and then another fir cone. See, it doesn't need a lot. You'd be amazed. I mean, again, if you have a look, you know, look in your embellishments in your little Christmas box, see what you've got. Now I want a little bow. So again, if you're not sure on how to make a bow, really easy. Just make yourself 2 circles, little sort of bunny ears, one round the other, and pull. And you can manipulate it. You can keep it nice and tight. But I want this quite small. And again, for me, I can do this to match and just pop that up there. And it's lovely because I know that the presents that these go on, I know that the recipients are really going to enjoy them. Now that one needs something there. What else have I got in my little... Oh, I know. I've got one of these here, which is a little sort of flower stamen. And that needs to just go need to just turn it over, pop that, there we go. Yeah, that just finishes that off. There's just something missing there. Now, what's good that any flower stamen you've got or anything, if they've got metal, or sometimes flowers have metal, what I do with those is get a paintbrush, look, and you've probably seen this before, don't throw the wire out, twist it round. And that just makes a lovely twiddly bit, and we can add that to the design. Let's put a bit of glue on there. Right, where should we pop that? I think just coming out from there. And that'll just extend that design that way. I don't know about you, but I think that looks really lovely. This one needs a little bow, doesn't it? So let's do the bunny ears again. So quite simple. Make your bunny ears. One in front, the one in front, tuck it round the back, pull it through, and then just manipulate these. Pull them tight, but you can actually make, look how small you can make your little bows. So I think that's just the right size for there. Bit more glue. Now again, you could use a hot glue gun for this. I'm just using pin flare. I know it will take a few hours to set, but it's just my glue of choice. And again, always pop the end up. Just with it being 3D items. Just dry that. Right, let's clear a bit of space. So we've got our lovely, got some little seeds there, look, that have come out of the fir cones. So what I'm going to do now is just add some snow to these. Now, you could use acrylic paint if you wanted, but I'm just going to use a poster pen. And again, remember, shake it up. Now, I just want to add a little bit of white detail onto my berries. And then a good shake, and I've put them next to each other because when I'm flicking, it may go on to the next one. And then that way, now some people like to hit with a ruler, some people like to come in and hit with a ruler. It's, again, whatever, horses for courses, whatever you find easy. I find it easier just to actually flick. And as I say, I find when I put my tags next to each other, we'll get a nice covering. I want a little bit more on those berries. If ever your pen won't flick, give it a good shake, but also pump it. Remember when you buy it, you pump the nozzle. Well, that often helps it when you want it to flick. Look. Right, I think we've got we've got a real snow flurry there, haven't we? Wow, look at that, yeah. Plenty of snow there. So I'm just going to wipe that Posca up and then bring them in for you to have a look at. I'm hoping you have a go at making some tags. And as I say, the fact that they're to go on your Christmas presents, it just means they're not just left around. You're actually making them for a purpose. And I'm sure the recipients will absolutely love them. So let's clear some space and let's have a look. So they're the 4 we've done today. And that didn't take long, did it? Now, which one's your favourite? I mean, again, it depends what sort of person you are, doesn't it? You know, do you like a lot of embellishments? Or do you want it plain and simple? Or again, you know, think of the person you're sending it to. I mean, I have to say, I think this is very elegant. That design for me is so classy, it's beautiful. But I do like my embellishments. And, of course, I've got the ones from before. So I'm really happy there. I've got such a lovely selection of gift tags. You know, once you start making these again, they are quite addictive. And I have to say thank you to the lovely ladies who have emailed with pictures of the wreath cards saying how addictive they are. But I'm so thrilled that you've got all your Christmas cards made this year, ladies. I really am. So I've just enjoyed that session with you. I hope you have too. I hope you have a little play at your tags and maybe wrap your presents up and, oh, nice little glass of maybe mulled wine while you're wrapping them up. And really get into that Christmas spirit. We've had a bit of a tough year, haven't we? So I'm hoping we can all get together and spend some quality time together this Christmas. You take care, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Much love and hugs as always. Bye for now.